Culture swap.
Swap my culture.
What do we do this week?
This week we have played No Man's Sky, the hit new game, hyped everywhere. Game of the Year 2016.
I have to be honest, I kind of missed out on a lot of the hype.
I think it was planned for, like, I don't know if it was day of release for the PS4, but it was very early. No Man's Sky has been floating around for a while now.
Yeah, so I was aware of it. The only thing I was aware before getting it was about how big it is and how it would take, like, a normal person if they spent, like, 1 second on every planet, like 1 billion years or something to see every single planet.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Like, that's all I knew about it going in.
Yep.
Since playing it, I did a bit of research, and I read a lot of what was promised beforehand.
Yep.
So I don't know if you want to talk about that, how much of that you're aware of.
I'm aware of some bits, like, he was very... What's the guy's name, Liam?
Sean Murray?
Yeah. So he was very... In the build-up, people were saying, well, it's such a big universe, like, how will I meet up with... Is it multiplayer? Are my friends out there in this universe?
Yeah.
And he was like, yes. And then it turned out, after it was released, that no, they aren't. You're alone. That's the main one. No. You are alone.
No, well...
You can't meet another player character.
No, you can't. But you can... They can impact the game.
Well, you say impact the game. Like, you can go to a galaxy and go, oh, someone else has been here.
Yeah.
That's not impacting the game in any way.
No.
Except for punishing you, because then you can't upload stuff and get money.
Yeah.
So that's the main one that I knew. But then I've seen there was a list somewhere that had a lot of other stuff that he'd apparently said, like big space battles, but there aren't any big space battles and stuff like that.
So, for anyone who's listening who maybe doesn't know what the game's about, what would you say? How would you describe it to them?
Well, what it is a space sort of exploration game, really.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You have a ship, you're flying around different not galaxies, like different solar systems, flying down to planets and exploring them is the idea. I guess that's the core gameplay.
Yeah.
But you've got to, like, mine materials on the planet.
A lot of resource management.
Yeah, you've got, limited space, and you've got to pick what you're taking with you and selling and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, it's that, but it didn't feel like it was going to be that when it got in the build-up. It felt like it would be more.
What were you expecting?
So, like, I used to, when I was younger, and recently as well, like, I'm hugely into those sort of space games, like, not big RTS ones, but ones where you're, flying your spaceship around the galaxy.
Exploring and stuff.
Yeah.
Meeting aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love all that stuff. Those are some of my favourite games. Like, the old Freelancer game is great, or Freelancer 2, I think is the one that I played the most of.
Okay.
Like, old games like that, you buying ships, I love upgrading the ships, going and fighting, going and doing all these missions. So I was really hoping for, effectively, a new game like that.
Yeah.
But with extra stuff, because this one you can land on the planets and go and explore, and I was like, that's awesome, a game where you've got the space combat and shit, but you've also got this planet-side stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not what they made.
No. Not at all.
Not
at all. Like, for me, I was looking forward to a game that was very much focused on exploration and discovery.
Yeah.
And you do get that, but you need more than just that for a game. Like, you need to know why you're exploring these things and why it's important that you discover these things.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't think the game so the game kind of, it tries to be mysterious by not telling you anything. And I think what it ends up doing is, instead of being mysterious, it comes across as just looking lazy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced that it isn't laziness.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the one. I think they were aiming for mysterious, but their laziness got in the way.
No, maybe I don't want to be too harsh, because I don't think it's laziness, maybe, because they did, like, to be fair to them, it is this huge game. It's an ambitious project. It's like it's a small team.
It is.
Right. I think the real issue with this game isn't the stuff that, well, it is the false promises and all that shit. They shouldn't have done that if they didn't think they could genuinely achieve it.
Yeah.
The issue is that they released a, £50 game or £60 game for what is effectively an indie game that should have been sold on the PlayStation Store for, at most, 30 quid. And even 30 quid, I'd say, at this point, I'd be like, that's a bit too much.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think maybe 25.
Yeah.
25 seems about right. It's definitely ambitious, and I have to kind of take my hat off. Like, it's never really been done before. A game of this scale.
Yeah, the scale is incredible.
But the issue is, it's almost too big. Like, it doesn't need to be as big as it is.
There's this weird obsession, or not an obsession, but there's this weird like idea in the game world of these procedurally generated things, like big procedural worlds.
Yeah.
Right? And the issue with them is, it's impressive when something's procedurally generated. Like, it's cool having these big worlds, like Minecraft's generating thing. That's really impressive that you can get this, there's crazy stuff in there that you're like, wow, it's impressive that they did this.
Yeah.
And it works in Minecraft, because Minecraft is a sandbox that you're playing in, and you can build and whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then you've got something like, I don't know what the best example is, but for example, Skyrim, right? That map is handcrafted.
Yes.
It doesn't... Everyone's looking at this same map. Same with like GTA, right? That city's a fucking incredible city, but it feels more alive because it's been handcrafted.
Yeah.
And I get that you can't handcraft a billion
cities,
stars and shit for No Man's Sky, but the old games did. Not that many, but they had galaxies they'd made, sort of thing.
Yeah.
It just feels empty.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think, like, I have to be honest, my first day of playing it, I was super impressed. I spent probably a good 6-7 hours on my starting planet.
Yeah.
Just exploring stuff, really enjoying it. I think the issue is, once you leave your home planet and you go and you discover the next planet, there's still a little bit, it's obviously going to be a little bit different, so it's still a little bit exciting. But then you go and do it again, and then you do it again and again, and very quickly it just becomes very routine.
Yeah.
And it's like, right, there's not really a whole lot of difference. Maybe the colours will be a little bit different. Maybe what they decide the weather will be is slightly different or something. But it doesn't kind of affect the way you play the game at all.
No.
So you're just constantly doing the same thing over and over again. And because it is procedurally generated, there's no way for you to have an actual impact on anything. So you do feel like you're kind of just watching this game go by, and you think maybe there's a story there, but you don't really know where it is.
Yeah, I mean, how far in it? You got further than me.
So
in the I'm putting this in air quotes.
Story.
The story.
Yeah. So for those that are listening, basically once you upgrade your ship, you can fly to different planets, and that opens up different paths. You have a free roam where you can just explore anywhere. There's a kind of plot point where you can go towards the centre of the galaxy, I think it is.
Which is meant... Well, they don't actually fucking tell you that it's your goal, do they?
No.
But it's... by that map mode, you're sort of...
that
it's implying that that's the goal.
And then there's what looks to be like the plot, where you follow what's called the Atlas path.
Yeah.
And that to me looked like where the story was. And basically, all that is in kind of, every now and again you'll have a weird red space thing that you go to, and it will give you a bit of text, and if you've done so many milestones, which is sort of things you do in the game, like how long you walk around for and how many times you spacewalk and stuff, you can click a little button, it gives you one Atlas stone, and then gives you a path to the next interface, it's called. So that's what I've been doing, been following that plot path. There's 10 kind of Atlas interfaces that you're directed to. Each one gives you a stone. Once you've got to the 10th one, you get one more path, leads you somewhere, and you get the option to hand over the 10 stones. And it says, gives you a bit of text about doing this will cause a new star and a new planet or something. And what it tries to do, the further it gets, is it kind of tries to be a bit smart, and it tries to be a bit meta and talk about how you're becoming aware of the mechanics of this world and how it's kind of procedurally generated.
Yeah, I saw that I got to the second one, so I got to the second interface on that path.
Yeah.
And that one, you get a message that's like, oh, when I looked on the stone, I could see the creators who made all these races and controlled everything on the planets. And I was like, really? Is this meant to be like Atlas is just the game creators?
Yeah, that's basically, they're trying to be meta with it, and it doesn't work. So the stones, they're worth a lot. You could sell them and get a load of units, which you can then use to upgrade ships and stuff and buy certain materials.
Yeah.
Or you can hand it in to the Atlas interface and just get a bit of text. And that's it. That path closes down to you, and then you're off exploring towards the centre of the galaxy.
Is there more story
No.
after that? Do we know?
Not that I've encountered. What I've heard is the closer to the centre you get, certain rules start breaking in the planets.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how true that is, but that's currently kind of my next goal with the game, is to, explore that. Like, it's like with Overwatch. I'm going to play it to get the trophies, and, with No Man's Sky, the trophies I think are better than Overwatch, just in the way that you can actually progress in them. It's not so much luck-based. You can work towards certain trophies.
Yeah.
It's going to be very easy to get the platinum. It's not going to cause any trouble. It's just boring.
Yeah.
Really boring.
It's really annoying because early on when you're playing it,
It's so exciting.
I can't remember what was happening, but there was like, the way Atlas was introduced in the game is like, there's like a thing that's like, oh, promise yourself to promise you'll follow the Atlas path.
That's so when you start, you start next to like a crashed ship that you have to repair, and there's a red sort of orb, and that's where you start on the Atlas path.
Yeah, so that thing's like, oh, follow Atlas, right?
Yeah.
But then you do that because there's no other option at that point, or you can like ignore it, but it's basically you've got to do it. It felt like, but then there was like, I can't remember where it was, but there was something that had two other names that were like in competition with Atlas.
Yeah, that just disappears.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck's that about? Because that was the point where I was like, oh, is Atlas going to be this big, like, I was like, oh, maybe there's this story of Atlas being this supposed creator, and then there's actually these two other groups you can maybe join and stuff like that. Nope.
I also thought
fucking nothing.
There would be more between the three alien races. So each kind of planet will be home to an alien race, and you can learn words and stuff. When I was first playing, that was the bit that was most gripping to me, was kind of exploring this language, and then when you talk to the aliens, they'll be like almost little puzzles. And
yeah, because you can start, by what they say and what you know about the race,
figuring stuff out.
You can solve more puzzles that they give you.
Exactly. So I was really enjoying that, but it gets to a point where kind of all of the rewards they give you, you've got. So, for example, you have what's called a multi-tool, and that's basically like your gun and also your way where you can mine resources.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain I've learned all the blueprints for it, and that's one of the rewards you get from solving these puzzles. The exosuit, which is kind of your inventory, if you will, and you can upgrade it so you can kind of jetpack further and faster and stuff. That I've fully upgraded, and I have all of the blueprints for that. So I'm at a stage with the game now where I'm like, I'm doing these things, but I'm getting nothing in return for it.
Yeah.
Like, there was even a point where I met a little alien dude. He's like, oh yeah, for 60,000 units, I'll give you a really cool upgrade. So that sounds banging. Already had it.
Yeah, that's weird. It still could give you the old blueprints and stuff. I don't get that.
Yeah.
Well, I do, because they don't have that many in the game, so they're like, oh shit.
That is the problem. It feels like, for a game so big, there's just so little to do in it.
Yeah. I mean, with that language stuff that you were saying,
yeah,
right? I had it today because I played a little bit before we came on here, just to sort of refresh myself because of Reading.
Of course,
I hadn't played for a while.
Yeah,
but I went and did I went to a new planet and met one of the guys, because they have these trading outposts which other ships fly to, and there's always a guy standing there.
Yeah,
and I spoke to him, and it was a race that I hadn't met before, so I didn't have the language.
Oh, which race?
It was the third race, the like insecty ones. Well, I say third race; they're the third race I've met.
Valkene, I think it is, or something.
Yes, that's it, Valkene.
Yeah.
And so it was one of them, so I haven't got any of the language for him.
Yeah.
So it was literally just random choice.
Yep.
And the whole, because you get your character's dialogue of what he's like saying in his head, effectively.
Yeah.
And then you get what they're saying on the bottom left of the screen, which is all just gibberish because I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah.
But my guy was like, oh, he's, spitting on my face shield, and clearly he's agitated. So my guy was doing the whole I'm signalling that I don't know the language, and that I'm peaceful. And then I had these three choices, which were give him 10 carbon, 10 silicate something, and 10 something else. So I picked one at random because I was like, well, I've got no fucking idea.
Yeah.
And it was the alien looks pleased and teaches you, the alien looks slightly upset and teaches you the word for something. So in my head I was like, okay, so he's upset because I didn't understand, and my character said I don't know the words, so he taught me a word, right?
Yeah.
But the word he taught me was ventilation, and I was like, now, if I was an alien and I met something that couldn't speak my language, and it gave me the wrong shit,
Yeah.
I'd teach it the word for the right shit.
Yeah.
I'd go carbon. I wanted carbon, not this shit. I wouldn't go ventilation. Get out of here, you scoundrel.
Yeah.
Also, why are they teaching me one word at a fucking time?
Well, yeah, that is flawed.
It just doesn't make any sense to me, Liam.
No. But, like, why also aren't the alien races warring or having some sort of
Oh, yeah. The
interaction?
like, lizard ones.
Yeah.
When you learn their history by reading their monuments and stuff,
Yeah.
they're like dickheads.
Yeah.
They're like full on like, oh, everything should bow to our dominance and that.
Yeah.
But you go up to them and they're like, oh, can you help me? And you're like, well, you're meant to be superior.
Yeah, they're like little goblins when you talk to them, where they just care about, like, money and trading.
Yeah. It's literally, it boiled down from what I've read one monolith for these new guys, the Valkyne.
Yeah.
Right? So, as far as the three races are the robot guys. This is how I'm going to say them, listeners, because this is
Which
effectively
is the
what they are.
Korvax.
Yep, the Korvax, they're robots. What they like is information,
Intelligence.
and they also like using you as a test subject. That will make them happy. That's it. That's all you need to know to solve their puzzles.
Yeah.
If they give you a choice, either give them knowledge
Yeah.
or be happy to be an experiment.
Yeah.
If you meet the lizard guys,
Yep.
just basically be subservient.
Yep. And
No matter what.
trade with them if you can.
Yep, trade with them.
Cool stuff.
Or if they're like, oh, who's the best? You go, you.
Yeah.
Sorted. And then these new guys literally read one monument and they were like, for this guy's honour, we've got to do it. So I was like, cool. So they're the honourable ones. Is that about right, Liam?
They're basically warriors, so they're very much into shows of, like, showing your strength.
Yep.
And if you can hurt yourself, they like that.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So yeah, but they're
And
just
that's it.
They're like a warrior race.
There's those three different things, and that's all you need to solve half their fucking puzzles.
And you would think, right, because those three things would have interesting interactions between each other, looking
Yeah.
at those personalities.
Yeah,
But you
100%.
never get to see that.
Because they're always in separate fucking galaxies.
Yeah, and the other
Solar
thing, the
systems.
thing that surprised me most when I started playing the game was how big the planets are. I wasn't expecting the planets to be as massive as they are.
Yeah, because they are. Some of them are huge.
So I kind of feel like just give me more to do on a planet.
Yeah.
Like have,
Instead of the same 5 types of buildings showing up.
yeah, have
They're not even
these-
different by races.
Yeah, have these aliens like on the planet warring over territory and stuff. Have kind of like seasons on the planet. You know, like with Earth. If you
Yeah.
go up to the Arctic, it's cold, right?
Very good, Liam.
That doesn't happen on planets.
No.
And I just feel like if they'd have maybe scaled the game down a bit, so there was more variety on the planets, but less of them, it could have potentially been a better game.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing that really bothered me for a long time as well when I was playing it is I was following the Atlas path, so I was jumping from system to system, and it gives you, you know, the quickest route to get to the next Atlas interface. But some other prick had clearly been doing the same thing. A guy called Zane23.
If you're listening, Zane23, I don't think Liam's a fan.
No, because, right, I wouldn't mind if he was naming his galaxies interesting things. Zane _3. Jump to the next one. Zane _4. I had this up until about Zane _23 when I think I finally overtook him. I'm sorry.
See, I just didn't rename them because...
No, I didn't. I was happy with the original names.
Yeah.
But, like, it's so disappointing when... Because the game's all about discovery and exploration, and, like, you're supposed to be kind of forging your own path in this universe.
Yeah.
So when you're just following Zane _ whatever fucking number he chooses, it takes away a lot of that exciting, oh, I'm an explorer feeling.
Yeah.
You just kind of feel like you're following Zane dickhead.
Yeah, it's odd. I'm not sure. I haven't enjoyed it particularly. I did that first few times.
The more I play it, the less I like it.
It's one of those things where the more you play, the more you can see how it works, and that ruins it.
Yes.
It's like the animals is a big issue for me. Like, and that was very early on. The procedural rules for the animals was like, oh, okay, I've got it. I figured it out. It's that simple. You literally go. It either walks on. It's either got the like lionish body.
Yep.
The T-Rex body.
There's a badger type body.
Yep, the little tiny badgery ones.
Yeah.
And then there's like a little spidery one as well.
Yeah. There's also one that looks like a sort of bouncing pineapple thing.
Yeah, well, those ones are... I think those ones have their own rules, those weird bouncy ones.
Okay.
Because there's one that looked like plants to me, but was an animal, and I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But but then like it literally just, and then it just goes random head, random
Yeah.
legs,
Yeah.
and you go, oh.
Random colour. But
Well,
not
most
that
of mine have been
random.
like brownie.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't even think there's a random colour, Liam.
Yeah.
They're just brown and shit.
Yeah, it really is. Like, the game visually does have moments where it looks spectacular.
Oh yeah, there are some genuinely, and like people online have posted some really cool shots that I was like, oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. See, one of the things when I first played it that I really liked about it was how everyone's kind of story of how they started with the game would be different. So I remember like talking to friend of the show Dan Palmer about it, and we were kind of discussing how we both started and what our planet was like, and
Yeah.
you know, how I was going off after the language stuff. I'm sure he was off doing something else. And I kind of thought that was quite neat, that everyone would have their own story to tell with this game. But the more you play it, the more you realise that it's not really much of a story at all.
And it's just going to end up being the same story.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I went here, and then I did that, and then I did that, and then I flew off.
Yep.
And that's it. That is the game. You go here, you do that, you fly off.
And you also don't get taught how to do barely any of it.
Nope, you just have to figure it out.
Yep.
And like, there's some stuff that would be really useful, like we were discussing earlier, having waypoints.
Yes. Because you can find stuff on planets that's... Basically, you can get these crash ships on planets.
Yep.
Which they've got... From what I understand, from what I've read, they have a 50% chance to have one extra slot on them than your current ship. And 50% chance to have one less slot.
Yeah.
So basically, they're really useful, because if you can repair them, you can see how many slots they got when you find them. So you can go, oh, that one's got one more, I'll upgrade that, then I'll take that one and find a better one somewhere else, and keep doing that. People are saying, it's a really good path to getting a good ship. But if you find one, you've got a choice. You can either replace your ship right there, just go, this is my new ship, and then repair everything.
Which is a ball ache.
Yep. Or you can go, no, I won't do it yet. But if you don't do it yet, there's no way to leave like a custom waypoint and go, this is that ship that I really fucking want.
Yep, this is how I get back to it.
Yeah, you just fly off, because I did that, because I was like, I don't have enough materials, and I know that there's a planet in this solar system that had a lot of the stuff I needed, because I was on a fairly bare bones planet where like some of the stuff was very far apart.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I know that there's big deposits of all this shit I need on another planet, so I'll just fly there. Flew off, and then was like, oh, wait, I wonder how I get back to there. Like, turn around, no fucking marker or anything. I was like, well, that ship's gone forever.
The other issue is, at least it's better now, but when I started particularly, the game would crash a lot.
Yep, every time I went to a new system, mine crashed.
Yeah, which was just a piss take.
Yep.
So I think it's fair to say we weren't that impressed with the game.
No.
I heard
it's a really cool
described-
concept, and a really cool fucking idea, but they failed to deliver.
Yeah, I heard it best described as it's a mile wide, but has the depth of a puddle.
Yep. That is 100% it.
Yeah. And it's a shame, because I think there's a lot of potential here that... Like, I don't really know what they could have done, because I think the problem is, in having it so procedurally generated, you have to give up a lot of control over what you can actually influence, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the more you start trying to then put in, the more rules and sort of constricts you've got, so it's going to be harder for that procedural generation to work properly.
Yeah.
So I guess having games like this, which are so procedurally generated, just doesn't make for a very good game.
No, but it does for some. It's just, it depends on what you want. Like, when you're making your game,
Yeah.
you've got to make that decision. And if you go procedurally generated, there's ways to make it work, like with Minecraft. Like,
Well, the only other sort of procedural generational type thing I've ever done is in certain games where they'll have like dungeons that are procedurally generated. But even that, it has a very strict set of rules. Like, oh, there will be, treasure in here and these monsters, and, there's not going to be dead ends or like...
no, but that's the same with this. This has those rules.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, with those games, the procedurally generated dungeons are just one part of it. Then you have the rest that's actually properly made.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You can get procedural generation to work.
Yeah, but I don't know if you could have a whole game where the
Minecraft
is that. I've never played Minecraft.
Right. Well, that is literally the entire game is procedurally generated.
I don't know how it works.
It works really well in Minecraft because it's a sandbox game that's designed for it.
Well, it doesn't work in No Man's Sky.
No, it does not work in No Man's
Sky. But
Sky.
again, there's not really a story to Minecraft, is there?
No, there's a very loose one.
Yeah.
But Minecraft, the whole point of Minecraft is like, because it's got that sort of No Man's Sky. Like No Man's Sky, you can't alter the terrain unless you're firing grenades constantly.
Yeah, but you can't.
Whereas
build
Minecraft is
anything.
literally you like using the world to build the things you want to build.
So that's the big difference then, right? So with
Minecraft is a sandbox that you can play in.
Yeah,
it's Lego on your computer.
Yeah.
Whereas No Man's Sky is like one of those Lego toy sets that your dad has super glued together so you can't play with it.
Yeah.
Like from the Lego movie film.
Yeah, so with Minecraft, you can have an impact. You can build something, it can be there, other people can come and look at it.
Yeah.
With No Man's Sky, you can't have an impact. You can go, no. I found this planet and I named it this thing. Other people can come and look at that name and then come and look around the planet, but they wouldn't know that I've been here doing anything.
No, there's no sign that you were ever there.
Yeah. So I think that's the issue. It needed to have some way for you to make more of a stamp on places.
Yeah.
Now, one of the rumours is there's going to be DLC, potentially paid for, and it is going to include base building. I don't think that's enough, personally.
No, what would be the point in base building in this game when you're flying into the centre of a galaxy?
Yeah, the whole point is to keep exploring. So what's the point of making a base anywhere?
No. I think I'm done with this game, no matter what they release, because I'm not paying for DLC.
No.
For this, not at all. I paid fucking 60 quid for a game that isn't worth 60 quid. Mm-hmm. If anything, they should, like, if I was them, I'd be tempted, not even tempted, like, out of decency, I think I'd try and release a bunch of free updates that would get it up to the point that I'd said the game would be.
Yeah.
Like, because I can't see anyone paying for DLC until they've delivered what they told people they were going to make.
And I can't see them delivering. It's never going to be multiplayer, I don't think.
No, I don't see how they could at this point.
No. We had a tweet come in about No Man's Sky.
Yep.
From Tom Hogan, who regular listeners, they'll know who he is.
He's a little artiste.
Exactly. Although, I haven't seen a lot of art lately.
Yeah, come on, Tom.
Yeah.
Get your head in the game, mate.
Oh, High School Musical. I like it. Cool
Shit.
back.
No, it wasn't.
Yep. So he said, from what I can tell, it seems like a good non-game that I won't need to think about much, so I'll wait for a Steam sale.
Which, yeah, I can see that. Yeah. It's the kind of game that, like, earlier when I was playing it, I put on Spotify and was listening to music that I wanted to listen to.
Yeah.
And I was just effectively... It's one of those games that you can just sort of sit and not be focused on.
The problem I've found lately is I've been doing that, but both today and just today, I've been playing it, and because it is so monotonous and mundane, it's actually made me sleepy. And I had to have a nap.
I mean, you're just fucking sleepy anyway, mate.
Yeah, I know, but this game doesn't... Like, games normally wake me up because like they're engaging my brain and keeping it active. This one sends me to sleep. So, what would you give it out of 5?
2.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. 2 out of 5. And I think that's being generous.
Yep.
So, would not recommend.
Not at all. I think Tom might have the right idea. It might be something to pick up if it ever comes down to, 10, 15 quid.
Yeah. What are we doing next time, Jack?
Next time, we will be doing the TV series, I say TV, but it's on Netflix, Sense8.
Who recommended that to us?
Regular listener, Joana.
I don't know if she listens anymore.
Well, I'm going to say regular because it makes me feel better, the idea that we have a regular listener, other than our friends.
I mean...
Not that you're not our friend, Joana.
Good save. If she is listening, she could prove me wrong and send us a cheeky tweet.
She still tweets us.
Yeah, I know, but, like, specifically... about what we've literally just said.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joanna, let us know what your thoughts are on Sense8 so that we can read them out next time.
Oh, no, don't say that. That's going to be really embarrassing now when she doesn't tweet us and clearly no longer listens to the show.
I'll just make something up.
Alright, cool, fine. So yeah, we're doing Sense8 first 3 episodes?
Yeah, we'll do the first 3, because that's our rule.
Right, I've got a small bone I'd like to pick.
I genuinely thought you said a small boner.
Well... No.
Now, listeners, I have a tiny boner.
I need to go and sort that out.
Sorry,
it's like a
Karen,
pimple. Yeah, I think there's a kind of attitude with some members of this podcast.
Go on.
Where they're like, oh, Liam, you don't finish shows that you start. Right?
Yeah.
I'd like to point out that some of the shows we've started, I actually have finished, like Making a Murderer.
Yep.
So that's what I have to say to those listeners.
Is that it?
Yep. I can't remember what other shows we've done.
It's just, you don't know, but it's just you don't finish other things. You you finish the stuff that you like,
Yeah.
which I get,
Yeah.
but you don't give anything else a chance, Liam.
I
is the
do.
issue.
I give it a 6 episode
You didn't
chance.
give it a chance.
6 episode
Everyone
chance.
told you Cowboy Bebop got better.
Everyone told me Attack on Titan got better.
Yeah, and you didn't give either of them. That was a bad example, Liam, because that's another one that you just abandoned.
Because I gave it 6 episodes.
That's not enough.
Alright, the other show that we did that I abandoned as well was fucking, what was it called? Dan's suggestion.
Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy.
I mean, we were never going to watch more of that, though, because that was a kid show. That was more to get our opinion on it, Liam.
Yeah. Well, have we done any other shows?
Maybe not.
Cool. So, Sense8, if I like it, I'll probably finish it. But I've got to do Smallville, ain't I?
I think you will like it, hopefully.
It seems more...
The thing is, I watched it so long ago, I can't remember what happens in the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. You have seen this before and I haven't.
Yeah.
I think it is going to be more my sort of thing.
I think it is, yeah.
But, you know...
We will see.
We'll find out soon enough. Bye. Anything else to say?
I mean, if listeners want to get in contact with us, Liam...
Oh, shit, yeah.
Oh, I see how it is.
Little edit.
You're just buying so early, mate.
Yeah.
If you want to get in contact with us, listeners, you can tweet us at nerdonnerd, or you can email us at nerdonnerdpod@gmail.com.
And maybe, like, what they could do, just to give them some sort of inspiration, if you will, they could maybe let us know what they thought of Sense8.
Yep.
Because it's not new, so maybe they've seen it. Or maybe, right, because this is going out on a Monday, and we'll record the following Monday. So if you listen to this the day it goes out, fuck it, treat yourself. Listen to it on the Tuesday. That still gives you nearly a whole week. And all we're asking is your thoughts on the first 3 episodes.
To be honest, if you even just watch the first one and let us know what you think of that,
Yeah.
that's still something.
Anything. Fuck it. Even if you don't watch it, and you just have
Just let us know what you think. Just
let us
go,
know.
that's a good name.
What do you think of the title Sense8, and what do you think it's going to be about?
Please, listeners, do that. If you,
I'm guessing, right, I know nothing about this show. I'm guessing it's kind of about how we have 5 senses, right, and someone's going to come along who has 8, and we're going to
8?
learn what those extra 3 senses are.
Fair enough.
So I'm really curious to find out. Because obviously, you've got the Sixth Sense, because there was that movie about it.
That's seeing dead people.
Yeah, so what's the 7th and 8th going to be?
Well, I think the 7th one's that one that sharks have.
What's that?
They can, like, detect electromagnetic frequencies underwater.
Okay, that could be useful, I guess.
I think that's
mean,
them.
I don't know how good of a show that'll make, but...
And then maybe 8 is like that one that snakes have got, where they can sort of smell heat, effectively.
Again, don't know how interesting of a show that'll make, but we'll find out.
What, a guy that can detect electromagnetic frequencies underwater and smell heat?
It sounds a
And
bit
the other one, and
Smallville-ish.
see dead people!
It's getting to Smallville levels, isn't it?
That's true, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll find out. I might be wrong. That might not be what it's about. We'll find out.
I don't want to spoil it for you.
It's on Netflix. You've got no excuse.
Exactly.
I've been Liam Underwood.
I've been Jack Hemster.
You've been brilliant. Bye.
Me, thank you, bye.